In the shadowy halls of a grand old mansion, two young brothers run playfully, their laughter echoing off the walls as they dart through the darkness, completely unaware of the horror that is about to unfold in their family home on this fateful night. One brother quickly pushes the other into a closet, closing the door softly to hide him from whatever danger is approaching, his small hands trembling with fear as he tries to protect his sibling. A wounded man stumbles into view, breathing heavily, eyes wide with terror as he begs the young boy for help, his voice desperate and broken, pleading for mercy in the dead of night while blood stains his clothes. The boy makes a fateful decision and runs to alert the rest of the family instead of offering aid, a choice that will haunt the family for decades and set the stage for future tragedies. The family arrives wearing eerie masks and robes, moving with cold purpose through the dimly lit corridors like ghosts from a nightmare, their presence terrifying and ceremonial. The wounded man is brutally shot with a spear gun, the impact violent and shocking in the quiet night, blood spraying across the walls in a horrific display of the family's dark tradition. They drag his body away into a locked room, sealing his fate forever and leaving a trail of horror behind them that will echo through the years. The title card for Ready or Not appears on screen, setting the tone for the nightmare to come and pulling the audience into a story of deadly family traditions and survival. Years later, Grace and Alex stand together at their wedding ceremony, exchanging vows with joy and love shining in their eyes, the perfect picture of a happy couple starting their new life together under the bright lights. Grace smiles happily, her face full of hope as she finally feels like she belongs after a difficult life in the foster system with no real family of her own to call her own. The family celebrates at the lively reception, laughter and music filling the luxurious space as glasses clink and people dance under elegant chandeliers, creating an atmosphere of celebration and warmth. Grace meets the various members of the Ludomes family one by one, trying to make a good impression and win them over with her warmth, charm, and genuine smile. Aunt Helene stares coldly at Grace, her expression unwelcoming and suspicious, already signaling that not everyone is happy about the new bride joining their elite world. The entire family gathers together for their strange midnight tradition, the mood shifting subtly as they prepare for the ritual that has defined their legacy. Tony explains the long-standing family ritual with serious authority, his voice carrying the weight of generations of tradition and power. The mysterious puzzle box is presented in the center of the room, looking ancient and ominous under the dim lighting, filled with the history of the family. Grace reaches in and draws the hide-and-seek card, looking excited and playful, completely unaware of what it truly means for her future. The family reacts with visible shock and dread at what she has chosen, their faces paling as the reality sinks in and fear takes hold. Weapons like guns and crossbows are handed out to the family members, the metal gleaming dangerously in the candlelight as they prepare for the hunt. Grace starts hiding around the mansion, thinking it's all playful fun, giggling as she finds a good spot and feels like part of the family. Alex finds Grace in her hiding spot and tries to warn her quietly, his voice filled with fear and urgency as he tries to protect her. Emily accidentally shoots and kills a maid, mistaking her for Grace in the chaos, the gunshot ringing out and changing everything in an instant, shattering the illusion of a game. Grace watches in horror from her hiding place as the body falls, her world beginning to crumble around her as she processes the violence. Alex pulls Grace aside and explains the terrifying family curse, his words shattering her dreams of a happy marriage and revealing the dark truth. Grace's face shows she finally understands the deadly reality, betrayal and fear washing over her as she realizes the danger she is in. Grace runs desperately through the halls to find a way to escape, her wedding dress tearing as she moves quickly through the opulent rooms. The family begins their deadly hunt, spreading out with weapons ready, determined to complete the ritual no matter the cost. Grace hides carefully inside one of the many rooms, holding her breath in the darkness and listening for footsteps. Tony searches methodically with his rifle, checking every corner with cold precision and experience. Emily and Fitch search together, arguing as they move, their dysfunction adding chaos and dark humor to the deadly hunt. Daniel quietly questions whether they should continue the game, showing the first cracks in family loyalty and morality. Grace climbs through vents and tight spaces to stay hidden, her body scraping against the walls as she struggles to stay quiet. Grace hides inside a dumbwaiter, trying to stay silent as it moves through the house, her heart pounding loudly in her ears. Grace moves carefully through the kitchen area looking for safety, grabbing anything she can use as a weapon or tool for survival. Fitch suddenly spots Grace and gives chase for a moment, his footsteps pounding behind her as she flees. Grace fights back and attacks Fitch to get away, using her strength and quick thinking to turn the tables. Grace escapes outside and runs into the dark woods, the night air cold against her skin as she pushes forward. A crossbow bolt flies past Grace, barely missing her, embedding in a tree with a loud thud that echoes through the trees. Grace ducks behind trees, trying to catch her breath, her heart racing wildly as she plans her next move. The family members call out her name while searching the grounds, their voices echoing through the trees like predators on the hunt. Grace discovers an old well hidden on the property, a potential hiding spot or trap in the darkness. Grace falls into a deep pit filled with old corpses, the horror overwhelming her as she lands among bones and remains of past victims. Grace climbs out of the pit, now covered in dirt and blood, more determined than ever to survive and fight back against the family. Alex secretly searches for Grace, hoping to help her despite the family pressure and his own conflicted loyalties. Daniel finds Grace and offers her a brief moment of help, torn between loyalty to his family and doing what is right. Grace grabs a weapon from the house to defend herself, ready to fight back with everything she has. Emily fires her gun wildly in panic during the hunt, bullets flying dangerously close and adding to the chaos. Charity gets injured in the escalating chaos, adding more panic and urgency to the family's efforts. The family argues loudly in one of the hallways, their dysfunction exploding under pressure as blame is thrown around. Grace sets up a clever trap to slow down her pursuers, using the mansion against them in a smart and resourceful way. The trap successfully catches one of the hunters off guard, buying her precious time to breathe and plan. Grace fights hand-to-hand with another family member, using every ounce of strength and determination she has left. Alex finally confesses more of the truth to Grace, revealing deeper family secrets and the full extent of the curse. Grace is shot in the shoulder but refuses to stop running, pushing through the pain with incredible willpower. Grace pushes through the pain and keeps moving forward, showing incredible resilience and the will to live. The remaining family gathers in the main hall to plan their next move as time runs out. Tony gives strict orders to the others, trying to maintain control even as everything falls apart. Aunt Helene comes face to face with Grace in a tense standoff, years of resentment boiling over in a dramatic confrontation. A big chase erupts through the dining room, furniture crashing as they run and fight for survival. Grace swings an axe in self-defense during the fight, fighting for her life with raw power. More family members are injured in the violent struggle, the body count rising as the night reaches its peak. The first light of dawn begins to appear through the windows, hope flickering for Grace as she sees the end in sight. The family realizes time is running out for them, panic setting in fully as they understand the consequences. The first explosion suddenly tears through one family member in a gruesome burst, the curse activating. Helene explodes in a gruesome burst, the curse claiming its first victim in shocking fashion. Fitch is next to explode violently, his body destroyed in an instant in a horrific display. Charity explodes while desperately begging for mercy, her pleas cut short by the family curse. Emily and the children explode together in horror, the sight devastating and tragic for the family. Tony explodes in rage as he realizes it's over, still defiant until the very end. Alex tries one last time to apologize to Grace, his voice filled with regret and desperation. Grace hands back her wedding ring and rejects him, showing her strength and independence in the moment. Alex explodes like the others, the final family member claimed by the curse in dramatic fashion. Flames begin spreading rapidly through the mansion, consuming everything in a fiery end to the cursed legacy. The spirit of Lobale appears briefly in a chair, watching approvingly as justice is served. Grace walks out of the burning house, exhausted but alive, breathing in the fresh morning air with relief. Grace sits on the front steps and lights a cigarette, taking a moment of calm after the long night of terror and survival. Police cars and paramedics arrive at the scene, sirens filling the air as they respond to the destruction. An officer asks Grace what happened here, looking at the destruction and her bloodied appearance with shock. Grace calmly replies with one word, "In-laws," delivering perfect dark humor in the aftermath. Recap outro text appears with channel information, inviting viewers to like and subscribe for more amazing content.